And with that, it's time to kick off today's Cloud EcoCast. I'm excited to introduce Mr. William Bell. He is the Executive Vice President of Products at phoenixNAP. William, are you with us?
I am indeed. Thank you so much for having us today, David.
Thanks for being on, William. Take it away.
All right, guys. Thanks, everyone, for joining so early in the morning. I wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you guys today about how phoenixNAP and Veeam are approaching cloud infrastructure security and availability. And we're really trying to reshape the way that our customers in the market thinks about infrastructure security and how core availability is to the security problem. So hopefully you guys find it valuable for yourselves and kind of talking through some of these major problems that CIOs and CSOs are facing today. A little bit about us. phoenixNAP was founded in 2009. The business has grown tremendously over the years. We have 10 world-class data center locations today, and we're opening up a few more very, very shortly in 2019. So a lot of different products and services. I'm going to focus in on some of these security-focused stuff for today, but kind of doing a lot of things. And so, we're focused on our customers and our prospects' problems, right? Like the major problem that we're seeing in the market today is that every business is trying to get a hold of their data, wrangle it, and secure it. And what we're finding is that the solutions out there are disjointed. You're having to consume a cloud service, a managed security service, a managed service for your applications, and roping all that in with multiple vendors presents a real challenge for businesses today. And so we're working with our partners to build this high security infrastructure and availability platform that can not only service production workloads, but can service disaster recovery and offsite recovery workloads as well. And so what we're helping people understand about their business is, do you want to continue building these things yourself, or do you want to find a partner who can help take a holistic approach at these problems for you? And so when we look at the market today, what we're seeing is this immense risk for breaches, for different types of attacks, for ransomware, and we're finding ways to address that with not only traditional security infrastructure technologies, but also next generation technologies, behavioral analysis, detection, artificial intelligence, and we're kind of lassoing all that with this core availability service portfolio that lays on top of it. So you get this managed security, managed infrastructure, and managed disaster recovery and backup, all with one vendor leveraging best-of-breed technologies. And I think that our customers are finding that to be very powerful, and so I'm going to talk through a little bit about that today and what we see in the market. So what we see is cloud services adoption is moving in the right direction, but there's a lot of businesses, a lot of traditional businesses that have high compliance applications, high security needs that really are scared of the cloud effectively. And there's so many different reasons as to why that can be the case. But I've highlighted a few of them on the slide. We're looking at multi-tenancy concerns, not only from a security perspective, but from a performance perspective, looking at application encryption and VM encryption and understanding, who has access to this, are there ways to bypass the encryption that I place on the infrastructure in my application. There's always been this inevitable fear of outage that you can't control, and really roping all that together with these gaps in compliance that aren't being addressed by anyone but the customer, right? So you consume a cloud service, it doesn't really get you anywhere down the route in terms of a compliance or security posture increase. And so what we're working with, not only Veeam, but VMware, Intel, all these great partners of ours to build this next generation secure cloud infrastructure. And one of the markers we use internally is secure by design. We're working to build from the ground up, we're working to build every piece of the infrastructure and service portfolio to be secure by default. And you can kind of see some of these areas, right? We're looking at the data, we're looking at the availability, we're looking at the OS, the network microsegmentation, the threat management on top of that. These are all of the things that we're focused on every day, and we're layering on new technologies it feels like every single week, but quarterly we're finding new things to put into the platform to help our customers stay secure in a cloud-first world. And our partners are really playing a key role in that. As they build their software technologies up, we're finding that we're able to provide a lot more value to our customers through this portfolio of services that we've kind of built out. And so when I talk to CIOs and CSOs and they tell me about their problems and struggles, we find that it really kind of lumps into 2 or 3 major groups. I don't have budget, I don't have people, or I can't hire and retain good talent, or I can't afford specialty skills, right? These are the things that really kind of present immense challenges for our customers and our prospects. So when we look at all that, we're trying to find ways to really help our customers get to that kind of cloud-first posture that's escaping a lot of these folks. It's very interesting. It's somebody actually from a question perspective, I'm going to kind of address it now. We've seen the meltdown Spectre stuff has not really held back adoption of these services. In fact, it's definitely playing a huge role in customers looking at cloud adoption. And there's a couple of areas that we've been focusing on for that. Is that a lot of times customers are still leveraging a lot of legacy infrastructure, and that legacy infrastructure was hit hardest, right? The performance challenges that they face now, a lot of customers were already at their performance kind of peak and their capacity, and so this really just put them over. So they're looking at finding a way to get that extra capacity that they need for their business quickly. And so when we look at the security angle of that, what we're finding is that customers actually are looking to service providers to really help understand these security challenges and really be on the forefront of solving them quickly, right? Versus much faster than what they could have done themselves. And so I think that's kind of to address the question that was asked by Daniel. I think that's something that we've seen a lot of. And so as we look at building out this puzzle, right, or solving for these tough challenges, we're looking at every facet of the infrastructure, right? And so I like this pyramid kind of explanation because what we have to start with is every component of the infrastructure itself, the physical technology that's there, has to be addressed both from an availability perspective, but from a physical security of the location that the infrastructure sits in, security of the hardware itself for tampering. All of those things are being addressed by our teams prior to implementing them as part of the data security cloud design that we've put forward. We're putting in traditional networking to build that redundant fabric, but it's just for ports, right? Now everything is leveraging software-defined networking. It's providing immense capabilities to our customers and their ability to actually control the flow of information of their applications and the security of those applications. So we take a look at that next generation hypervisor technology, all the advancements that VMware and Microsoft are making from a hypervisor perspective, and we're trying to stay on the forefront of delivering that to our customers. And like I said, what customers are finding and our prospects are finding is that they can get an immense upgrade to their technology footprint for pretty low friction adoption, right? The ability to take these VMs that are mostly VMware or Hyper-V anyway, and take them and literally just port them into a cloud service and start consuming new technologies and new services, right? From an availability services, from a security services, new services to augment their resources and their team. So it's really a big uplift. And then we take our 24/7 SOC and we apply a ton of intelligence feeds and threat management on a day-to-day basis to implement a manage, detect, and respond platform on top of a secure cloud service. And really, to kind of hammer that home, what we see is this ability to look at the security of an application and of data at every single point of the layer, every layer of that application's framework. We can provide a much more intelligent decision-making path to remediation versus when a customer is leveraging a cloud service and an MSSP and a managed services company. Those guys all have to work together to solve these challenges, and that causes confusion and finger pointing, and it also adds expense, right? When you have 3 vendors all looking to get their piece of the pie, everybody gets their pound of flesh effectively from your business. And so, being able to bundle that together, provide a holistic approach from one vendor, we think is really exciting. It's, for us, this is our future as a business. As we grow out our platform, this is our focus for the next 5 to 7 years, and continuing to solve these really tough challenges that our customers face, every single day. And so I'm going to switch gears just a little bit because I have a super exciting announcement that I wanted to bring out there. Next Monday, heard first right here on the EcoCast, phoenixNAP is launching its managed backup for Office 365 email product line, powered by Veeam software. It's super cool in terms of, people think that Office 365 and the email platform, the OneDrive platform, the SharePoint platform there, it's all just natively backed up and everything's going to be taken care of for you. And it's just not the case, right? And when we show customers how important it is to be able to have a copy of that data somewhere else off cloud, it's really, really resonating to the people that we've made some pre-announcements to. And having all of that taken care of for you, where you don't have to worry about it, is super powerful. And then kind of that last one, the ability to restore it basically anywhere. You have an effective copy of all your email. You can put it back on-premises Exchange. You can take a file, take an email out. You can save it as a PST. You can do anything with it, and it's all self-service. It's managed by us, but you have full self-service to that. So it's very exciting. I'm super stoked to make that announcement, and we think there's going to be a lot of people focused in on that. This is my, eyeball slide, so everybody can get a good, clear picture of what we do as a business and the things that we're focused on every single day. It's a vast portfolio of infrastructure-focused services, right? And we're helping customers do all of these things, really every single day. I know some people talking about hybrid cloud and multi-cloud and all these things in the chat windows, and we really see ourselves as a glue between the traditional on-prem and the public cloud. And long-term, with our varied locations and many data centers and service portfolio locations, we see ourselves as the new on-premises, right? This is a consumption model of on-premises workloads where you have more control over the platform, where you have more intense security and compliance than you would in a public cloud environment, and you have a lot more guarantees, a better SLA from a performance perspective, from an availability perspective, and you kind of wrap all that in, and as those workloads come out of the office effectively permanently, they're likely not going to land exclusively in a public cloud. As much as Amazon would love to talk about that, But, we're focused on meeting these challenges for our business every single day, or for our customers' businesses every single day, and giving them best-of-breed solutions across a vast portfolio of infrastructure options. And it may seem a little challenging. Definitely is challenging for us, but we're able to really, really help these customers and the folks that we're speaking to on a daily basis. I'm going to wrap all this up and leave a little bit of time for questions. We're looking at this cloud-first future. It's here, right? It's interesting because what we find is that people feel like security in a cloud infrastructure managed by someone else is not impossible, but it's scary, right? Where they just don't see the full picture, or what they believe they don't see the full picture. What I'm trying to get the message out about is that there are options out there where you do have a security stance that's probably more secure than you've been able to accomplish on-prem, and you can consume that in an OpEx fashion, right? And you don't have to do it yourself. And I think that together with our partners at Veeam and VMware and Intel, we're working on so many cool future state issues and how we can address that next generation of applications and technology, whether that's containers, whether that's artificial intelligence, high-performance computing. All of these things that sound like buzzwords, they're very important to us because our customers are asking us, how do we get all of that next-generation public cloud technology, but in a more cost-effective, more secure, more predictable environment? So we're really pushing hard to do that. And we're focused so heavily every single day on ensuring the availability of that ecosystem and of our customers' data, whether that's in our infrastructure or whether it's still located on-prem. We think that it's kind of the core of the sphere, effectively, of security, is this last line of defense in data backup and availability. So with that, I'm going to take some questions if anybody has any, and we'll go. Wahid, public cloud means in our slide deck. What does public cloud mean? We actually operate a VMware-based pay-by-the-hour public cloud, leveraging our own proprietary interface. You can import VMDKs directly into that platform. It is a true public cloud. We do host Amazon in our data center in Phoenix. We're working with Microsoft Azure to try to make that a reality as well. But our customers can get connectivity to any of those providers directly managed by us every single day. I know that Daniel talked a little bit about external threat management. What are we doing from an insider threat protection was the question that he asked. And so what we're looking at from an insider threat perspective is we're working with, I'm going to make sure I don't violate any NDA. We're working with Intel to try to address some of these issues at a hardware level and provide access to external key management systems so that our customers can actually manage the encryption of their applications without giving us keys to things. And I think that that's a big step in that direction. It's interesting. I think the last question that was asked was, how many telco meeting rooms do we have? We're either building our portfolio to be either the data center owner and operator of the most highly connected facilities in the location. Our Phoenix facility, as an example, has 40 carriers directly located in the facility. A lot of our other partner facilities, we have a great relationship with Equinix. They're the most connected data centers in the world. So this is something that we're focusing on all the time. And then I think one more came in real quick, David. Main use cases for backup for Office 365. Melissa, what we're focused on there is flexible restoration options and the ability to ensure that data is protected even in the event of an outage from from Microsoft, right? And so what we see today is the Microsoft solutions that are in place to do backup for the Office 365 data. It effectively puts it into a fault a fault domain effectively that can be impacted by a major outage. And so we're looking at that. Also, the ability to do very granular restorations, all the cool stuff that Veeam's been working on, we're providing that as a service. So with that, I'll wrap it up. And thank you guys so much for taking some time. And David, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, great presentation, William. We got lots of good feedback here about that. One question I wanted to ask you before you go is, you know, if people were to contact you here, you know, with their infrastructure challenge or, you know, whatever it might be, can you walk us through the process of, you know, what do you do with them? How do you get started? What do you, what's the process look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So every customer is different depending on how large and complex the infrastructure is. We're very excited about one specific reference account that I can talk about here, and I'll talk a little bit about how we work with them. You know, we provide the infrastructure for Make-A-Wish Foundation worldwide, and there was a big kind of splash about that at VMworld this year, and all of these technologies that we're leveraging for them. This came through a discovery process. We're going into our customer's office, talking to them or virtually, and talking to them about their problems, their challenges, and what they have today, and how we can improve that kind of for tomorrow. And really what we're focused on, most importantly, is maximizing the investments that they've already made, right? Because this isn't a all-in public cloud. Just come buy all of our stuff and use only our platform. This is an ability to actually take the things you've invested in, marry them with other infrastructure services and security services, and really deeply engage with a partner, not just consume something through a web interface, right? And I think that's the main key differentiator. When you look at an enterprise cloud service provider versus a public cloud, the key component to that is the relationship and the ability to customize a solution that meets your exact needs. And that's the number one thing that people talk about phoenixNAP. Our partners, our customers, flexibility, and solution engineering, right? That's kind of the main context.
Great point. Yeah, they come to the experts and they trust you guys. They have that level of trust, I'm sure.
Exactly. That's really, that trust is the main component.
Excellent.
All right.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for being on the event today, William. Have a great day.
Thanks, David, so much. You guys have a great one.